Well, good morning, Freedom Team. Hope everybody's coming off a great weekend, ready for a big week. We're into the final month here of summer, August, guys. I just had another earlier Zoom this morning. You guys know this right now, but talking about attraction for a minute, which is today's call. Man, there's never been a better time right now for multiple reasons to be reaching out to agents. You guys I've been doing this for 7 years. Fourth quarter tends to be the biggest quarter where agents make the move because a lot of them would like to get themselves established and ready to go by January. So just keep that in mind. What a great time to start planting seeds right now, September, October, and it could snowball in November, December for you. Even if you just had 2, 3, 4 agents come on board the next 4 or 5 months, what a great way to lead into 2025. But as always, guys, we do this every Monday, same time, same Zoom. We do 4 of these in a row, right? Monday through Thursday. We got Monday, Thursday about attraction, Tuesday, Wednesday about production. Spread the word. Come on here, guys. The people that are plugging in are seeing and having success. So as always, we interview somebody here on a Monday morning. And what I love about this, I was telling Myers, I don't know this gentleman. He was kind enough to come on here. And just the 2 or 3 minutes talking to him, I'm like, wow, this guy has done some massive results in less than 4 years. So we all want to be dialed in today. And he shared with me, we'll open up here in a few minutes. He's going to also kind of go through what he does with his generals, the ones who are really plugging in. So I think we're going to get some great content. But Mayur, thank you, sir, for coming on here, man. Sincerely appreciate it. Why don't we start things off? Let's just get to know you a little bit. I don't know you. No one else here knows you. So kind of where you're from, if you want to share any of your personal family, that kind of thing, and what originally got you into real estate and when, and then maybe just take us up to the point, maybe right up to the point where you're joined DXP and what that whole journey's been like.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, thank you for having me on. All of you guys, thank you for being here today. A little bit about me. So, where do I begin? I started in real estate in, geez, and you guys can't remember the year. I can't remember the year to go. It was a long time ago, and I met a partner, a girl who was like, "Hey, I'm in real estate. You want to partner up?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And it was during the short sale days. So I guess that was 2008 and 9. And we came up with a strategy to short sell homes where we would mail people postcards that said, "Hey, I can get you cash for keys. If you turn this card over and fill out your information, I'll go ahead and represent you and I'll call the bank. And in an hour, I'll tell you how much you're getting from the bank." And we got 25 phone calls a day. And we were taking 6 listings a month. I'm sorry, 6 listings a day. And, we took a couple hundred listings and then I said, okay, I'm going to go open up a brokerage. So I opened up SoCal Short Sale Realty in Orange County, California, and did really well. And I found out that what I liked doing is I didn't like negotiating the short sales. I didn't like doing open houses. I didn't like doing listings. I hated representing buyers. I liked recruiting agents. And I said, wow, every time I recruit an agent, I can get like 10% of their commission. And if I can recruit 10, that's like that's my full-time salary. But if I recruit 20, now I got 2 full-time salaries. If I can recruit 50, well, the story goes. So I did that for a few years and it worked out really well until somebody called me from Keller Williams and said, "Hey, you're taking all of our agents. How much money do you want to stop?" And I gave them a ridiculous number and they said, "We'll pay you." So they made me the team leader of Keller Williams in Newport Beach, which was their flagship kind of brokerage in California. 12,000 square foot office across the street from the beach, $90,000 rent, about 200 agents. And after I took the job, I looked at their P&L and they were losing 50,000 a month and they only had 3 months of reserves. I said, "What the hell is going on?" And I figured out that KW, they only hire you if it's a burning tire fire. They don't hire you if it's going well because that person doesn't leave. So I said, okay, the only way to turn this around is if I recruit a ton of agents. And the goal at KW, if you're a team leader, is you had to recruit 10 agents a month to keep your job. Well, if I recruited 10 agents a month, our brokerage would have failed. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try to recruit 25 a month. And so I created a recruiting system and I was hiring an average of 26.5 agents a month for about 5 years. I was the number 9, 10 team leader in the country out of 1,000. And then I said, you know what? I want to go open my own office. And so they said, okay, great. You can open your own office, but here's the rule. You have to hire 60 agents to your new office without an office, and you may not get an office. You need to send us a franchise fee of $50,000. You need to show us a bank account with $500,000 in cash and, a bunch of other hurdles. And I said, easy, I'll do it. Got some investors, started making phone calls, hired 60 people, got an office. I got a sublease, by the way, which is really smart because I was paying pennies on the dollar. So now we're, instead of paying a $90,000 a month rent, I was paying $10,000 for an office that was equivalent to the one that I was running. And then I hired 250 agents myself personally to that office and made it the number 4 office in the country. And then I told KW, I said, look, I've already hired a ton of people to Newport Beach, made it profitable. I launched an office, I made it profitable. Guess what I asked them to do next? So let's go open up like 15 more of these. And guess what KW said? Somebody guess what they said. I'm going to pick on Stefan Carruthers. What did they say to me?
I bet they told you couldn't, they wouldn't allow you to do it.
They said, absolutely not. You are not going to go open up any more offices. We're all sold out. You can only open them up in the most remote locations of the country, which is setting me up for failure. I still looked at those options. And then they kind of winked and said, hey, you got to give us like 5 or 10% of your next office to the people in charge if you want to open it. I said, why would I give you 5 or 10%? You're not going to put money in or do the work. And they're like, well, that's Mayur, that's how it works. And I said, this should be based on merit and numbers. It shouldn't be based on stuff like that. And that was the last day I worked at KW. I said, I don't want to be here anymore. There's no room for growth. Unless I pay somebody 10% of my hard-earned work, it's not going to work out. So I went and looked at Sotheby's. Sotheby's is like, we're not going to open up any offices, but you can become a regional manager. I said, I don't want that. I want to own. I went to Coldwell Banker. They said, you can't own here. I went to Berkshire Hathaway. I went to, I think, 15 brokerages in a year. And I went to all of them with a business plan saying, I want to hire 10,000 agents. And all these brokerages said, no, we're not growing, but you can come in and manage all the offices if you want. I said, great, I'll do that. How much do I own? They said 0. I said, well, look, I don't want to be on the hamster wheel forever. And I was in my 30s at that time. And I said, I want to have a really cool exit strategy. So my best friend at the time, still my best friend, his name is John Pugh. I actually had recruited him from Coldwell Banker to Keller Williams. He helped me to launch the office. So we went everywhere and did everything together. And he said, dude, let's go join EXP. And I'm like, it's like an online company. Like they're going to be gone in like a year. This is dumb. I have to wear a 3-piece suit and I need to go out there and shake hands. And he said, dude, let's try. So we called EXP and I got to talking to the president of the company. And I was really cocky. And I said, hey, my name's Mayur. I'm an OP. I hire a ton of agents. Can I come in here and hire 10,000 agents? And I want to also open up 10 offices. And you know what she said? She said, go ahead. And it was the first person that said, do it. I said, okay, what's the red tape? If I open an office, what's the franchise fee? She's like, you can open up as many offices as you want. I said, where? She's like, open them up anywhere you want. We'll even pay for the office space. You can use a Regis. I said, well, how much do I get paid? And they showed me the rev share chart. I'm like, that's more than I get paid at KW. I don't have an office that I have to sign for and hire 60 agents and have all this money. I can just open an office on a Monday if I feel like opening an office at a Regis, and I can hire as many agents as I want. And I don't have to hire any employees, and I don't have to do the accounting, and I'm not the broker, and I don't have any liability. And I'm like, let's do it. So January 1st of 2020, John and I joined EXP. And then in February, everyone started coughing and this COVID thing came out. And we're like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? Well, in March, nobody did anything, right? We all remember that. It's kind of like today, stock market down 1,000 points, nobody did anything. And then all of a sudden, everyone started calling me saying, hey, I heard you went to EXP. My broker's closed. Like I can't go close deals. Like the office is physically closed. I got deals I got to close, man. can you sign me up to EXP to your online broker? And can I do a deal? I'm like, sure. And those calls kept coming in for like a year and a half. And we continued to take those calls and then started to utilize a lot of the things that we learned at KW in terms of lead generation, accountability, profitability. And we took it and we brought it to EXP in our own model. And from the way that we did that, we went from, I hired one agent, which was John Pugh on January 1st of 2020. And today I have 915. And so it's been really, really successful throughout the process. John and I created a coaching program for our own agents and other agents, because a lot of people are like, hey, I want to go from 0 to about 1,000 like you did. And so that's where we're at. So I have a bunch of different coaching topics that I can go over. But I want to hear from you guys first to see which one I should do today, or how we want to do this. So tell me, why are you guys here? And you can either answer or throw it in the chat or both. Why are you guys here? Like, what do you guys want to learn today?
I have a question.
Sure.
First of all, thank you for being here. And Sean, thank you for arranging this. It's amazing. Nice to meet you. Mayur, my name is Trish. And I'm looking up there because that's where my screen is. I have 18 FLAs, 13 FLQAs, and 85 total. And there have two teams. One that was a brokerage, one was a team. Everybody was excited about revenue share. And then they got busy selling real estate. And so I'm looking for some guidance on how to engage the ones that are willing, because I don't want to drag anybody through anything, but is there something that I'm missing to help them get that level?
So do you use a well chart?
Yes.
Okay. So you know the section where it shows year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5? That's where you put typically the number of agents you have in your group, as well as the revenue share that you're getting.
Okay.
Okay. So you always want to start off with the year 1. So whatever you finish up with in year 1, let's call it, how many agents do you have? 83?
85 or 86.
And however much you've made off of that, the easiest way to do this is in year 2, you're just going to double both of those numbers. You're going to double the number of agents and the number of revenue. And if you go to year 5, the dollar amount for revenue that you're going to show there is going to be a hell of a lot more than anybody's making in the real estate business. I'm going to guess you're making about 40,000 to 60,000 a year in revenue share.
I think so, or close.
Okay, so guys, let's do this. So if I was coaching you, I'd say, and your name is Trish. So I'd say, Trish, you're making, let's just call it 50,000, nice round even number.
Okay.
You're making 50,000. If we multiply that by 2, that's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. At the end of your 5 years, you'd be making 1.6 million. If we just keep doubling that number over and over and over. Are you going to be making 1.6 million selling homes in 5 years? In your current business plan? Probably not.
Yeah,
And
probably
the
not.
only way to do that, and if you, and some people do tell me yes, I'd say, great. Well, you're going to have to double the number of listings you're taking, the number of open houses, the number of conversations, and eventually kind of by like year 1 and 2, you could double your real estate business every couple years, but then you're going to have to build a team. And then you're going to have to get an office space, and then you're going to have to hire employees, and then you're going to have a ton of liability. And so the name of the game in revenue share, and this is something I almost might get a tattoo of it, no joke. If it doesn't multiply, it doesn't matter. If you take a listing and sell it, you'll get 1 check, and then you are unemployed. And then you have to go take another listing and get 1 check, and then you're unemployed. In revenue share, if you hire an agent and teach them how to hire 2, you'll have 3. And then those 3 will all hire 2, and then you'll have 10. And then over time, it'll keep doubling. And you might say, well, hey, Mayur, how is my revenue share going to double every year? Because you said year one, I'm at 50, then it's a double all the way to 1.6 million. Well, if you look at your growth rate and you're tracking the number of new agents that joined your group, and you divide that by the number of agents in your group, you'll get your growth rate. So what is your growth rate? How many new agents have joined in the last 30 days, according to your revenue share dashboard?
2.
2. Okay, and you have 83, right?
Sure.
Okay, so you have a very, very, very low growth rate. So you're not going to double every year unless you put some more fuel to the fire. So what you need to do is you need to start coaching and training your people on how all 83 people, all they have to do is bring in one person each. And the easiest way to do that is to pick up the phone, call them and say, hey, I noticed you haven't brought anybody into your rev share organization. You're not taking advantage of this gift. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think would be a good fit for our culture? Have you done a deal with anybody that you liked? And they're going to say, yeah. You say, great. Let's get on a call with them and just find out what their goals are. And if they hit them. And if they didn't hit their goals, what are they missing? Because everybody in real estate's missing one of the 3 L's. They either need more leads, listings, or leverage. So Trish, we call somebody in your group and they say, well, you know what? I called Mike and Mike says he'd love to get revenue share. He wants a gift. And he did a deal with another agent. And we call that agent. That agent says, hey, my goal is I want to do 10 million a year. I'm at 5. Well, what do you need to do to get to 10? Well, I need more leads. Well, great. Mike, I just took an icon class where they are talking about lead generation from one of the top people. Can I share it with you and give you my personal notes? Also, I took this class and I took 3 or 4 listings. Give them some evidence. Don't just send them crap and say, hey, now we're going to send this agent all the different resources on how to get what he's looking for, which is more lead generation ideas from not a professor, not a teacher, but from somebody in EXP who's doing it, because you're only allowed to teach if you're an icon agent. And then I'm going to continuously keep sending him information and then start to hold him accountable and say, hey, Mike, I sent you 3 things on lead generation. How many of those have you implemented in your business? And then he's going to start talking about what he implemented. And once Mike implements some of those things that actually turns into a listing, hey, Mike, we've got some new classes coming up now on leverage. Now you're taking a bunch more listings. You're at your 10 million. You're closer. Do you want to leverage yourself out so you're not working all day long? Because everybody wants to double. I want to double my business. I've talked to 1,000 agents. I'm at 1 million. I want to go to 2. I'm at 5 million. I'll go to 10. But they don't think about how much time and energy it takes to double your business and the cost of sales. So that is what I would do for you. And if you did that, you could get your growth rate up to about 6%. If your growth rate is up to 6%, then your group will double every year. And that's how I would walk somebody through that. Very long answer to a short question.
It's a great answer. Thank you.
My pleasure. Who else has a question or why are you here?
I'm here to create some momentum in my growth. My numbers are very similar to Trisha's. My growth rate is very similar as well. And just trying to create that momentum and get more power behind it.
Okay, well, so what are you currently doing to create momentum? How are you helping your agents to all hire one person?
For the ones that opt in, helping them set their revenue share goals. And that's about as far as I've gone.
Okay, so here's what I would do. I would reach out to these people, and the very first thing I would do is I'd say the very first thing you need to do is you need to create a list. This is like step 1. So step 1, you need to create a list of 200 agents. You need to put those in an Excel file, and you need to put a couple different columns. First column is EXP interest. Scale of 1 to 10, what's their interest? 10 means they're asking you questions about EXP daily. 1 means they're like, don't ever talk to me about EXP. The second column you're going to put in there is relationship score. What is your relationship with them? Are they a cold call that you just called and said, hey, you want to hear more about EXP? They're a 1. A 10 would be like your brother, sister. And then you're going to want to add up in the third column the total score. So if they're a 10 in interest in EXP, like I want to know more about it, and they're your brother, then their total score is a 20. And all you have to do is take that list of 200 and sort it by the highest score. And people will say, well, how do I create a list of 200? Well, first of all, put every single agent that you know. Okay. Most agents, I'd say, if you're experienced, 50. Newbies will know nobody. Okay. And how do you fill out the rest? Put the name of agents that you would love to have in your revenue share organization. Who's the number one agent in your area? Who's the agent you met at Tom Ferry? Put as many down. If you can't come up with a list of 200, then you can't play this game. You could Google listing agents in whatever city you're in and just copy and paste. If you can't do that, then forget it. Go sell houses. Right? But once you create your list of 200 and you've scored them, and it takes about a month to do that if you're the average agent. Once you do that, you're going to take the highest relationships, the highest scores, the top 10 names, and you're going to put those in your wealth chart on the bottom right. And the bottom right of your wealth chart is what?
The folks that you want to work with, the top
What is it
folks.
called?
Yeah, hit list. I don't know how to.
Your hit list.
Is that it?
Thank you.
I need
Said
to
the man
bring out
with
a new
over
wealth chart.
2,000 people in his revenue share organization. It's your hit list.
Don't have it on it. I need to go print a new one. So you're saying on the new one, it's down here?
Oh yeah. You need to
need to-
update it. If you reach out to Chelsea, my admin, she'll
Yeah.
send you a PDF of it, and you can send it to any Kinkos, and then you're gonna get it just like you have large laminated and put it right in front of you. So now you've got your hit list. You've sorted it. You take the top 10 names, you drop it in your hit list. Those are the people that you're gonna tell your agents, reach out to them and just ask them, how are you doing this year? How are you doing with your goals? Do you guys think you're gonna call 10 people and a bunch of them are gonna say, I hit my goals this year? 7% rates.
Nope.
Everybody's gonna say, I didn't hit my goal. Then what you're gonna do is say, well, what do you think you need to hit your goal? You never tell them what they need, because all of you guys need something different. You say, what do you think you need to hit your goal? And they will always tell you something that they need in leads, listings, or leverage. At that point, you become a pharmacist and you go look at your shelf and you find out what they need. Leads, listings, and leverage. And now, if you're a good pharmacist, you'll have a full shelf. If you're a bad pharmacist, you'll be like, I don't really join EXP. No, you need to go to the icon classes. You can't recommend a medicine unless you've taken it, or at least you know what it does. You need to go to the actual icon classes. You need to go to the masterminds. You need to talk you need to go to EXPCon. You need to go to Build. If you're not committed to going to all those things and learning what resources we're using, then forget it. You're out of the game. Assuming you do go and you talk to this agent and they said, okay, I got 10 people in there. I talked to all 10, and Mike needs help with leads. He needs help with listings. He needs help with leverage. At that point, you're going to say, great. What product, services, classes are you recommending to them? And then they're going to say, well, I recommended this, this, and this. Okay, great. When's your next follow-up with them to find out the products or services that you recommended that they're using? And then they say, oh, I sent it to 5 people and 2 of them are really using it and they like it. Those names go now from the hit list to the very next section on your wealth chart, which is working hot. Those are people that you're working with. And now those people, you're going to start communicating with them saying, hey, I've sent you some information. We've had some conversations. We've talked about your goals. You're not hitting your current goals where you're at. And then you want to ask them the 3 magical questions. This is worth waking up today coming here. You're going to say, Kelly, why haven't you hit your goals? And Kelly is going to look back and give you excuses, because I asked her a question designed for that. Why haven't you hit your goals? Well, I didn't do it because the market sucks and my kid got sick and my broker's just never there to help me and everybody in the office is mean. Okay, let me ask you another question, Kelly. What could you have done differently in order to hit your goals. Now Kelly's going to stop looking behind and she's going to look a little bit more forward, and she's going to say, well, you know, I should have had more lead generation. I should have been with the broker that was coaching me. I should have had all these great topics that you've been sending me for the last 2 years. And now you're going to ask the $1 million question. So first I asked, why haven't you hit your goals? Ew, that's an icky question. Why is icky? And I asked you, what could you have done differently? Okay, now we're talking about progress. Now I'm going to ask you the $1 million question. Kelly, who is going to help you to hit your goals? Is it your broker? Your broker hasn't helped you to hit your goals. Is it one of the fairies or one of the coaches that you're paying that you haven't hit your goals with? Who's going to help you to hit your goals? Because I've sent you information that could help you to overcome your obstacles. I've held you accountable. I have helped other people in your exact scenario. By the way, here's a list of people that I helped at your volume. They came over, and here's their success stories. So Kelly, who's going to help you? If it's not me, I want you to tell me who it's going to be, because I'm not going to let you not hit your goals. And you're like, well, I'm not going to come to EXP. That's fine. Don't come. But I care more about your goals than you do, because that's part of my goal. My goal is I want to help 50 people a year to hit their goals. And I want to help you. So who's going to do it? And that's what I would do. And then eventually they're going to either say, hey, I need to partner with you. Like, I'm really not getting this help anywhere else. Or they're going to be like, you know what? I'm just one of those people that's just going to stay where I'm at. And then from that point, they go on your wealth chart from working hot to in process, which means, hey, I'm ready to get started, but I need a month to close out a listing or close an escrow, or I need to change my cards or signs or kids' vacation. So when they go to in process, they've given you a commitment. I am joining. And at that point, you're going to want to make them sign an LOI, letter of intent. Really simple. Just sign off that says that you're going to come and when. And if anybody joins before you, you're going to be able to get them in your revenue share organization. Or they're just not going to make the move. At that point, you get your eraser and you wipe them off your wealth chart, and that's it. What I do with my generals is I walk them through, let's look at your hit list. Who's on there? What have you done? Who's in your working hot? How can we move these people over to signing up? Who's in your in process? What is the last items that we could do? And then eventually they go from in process to your frontline agents on your wealth chart. And then hopefully an FLQA on your wealth chart. And then where the magic happens, where the money's made, is they go from frontline qualified to the top right-hand corner of your wealth chart, which is your generals. They said, hey, everything's working. I like it. I want to start recruiting. I want to start attracting. So that's the basic process from creating a list, adding them on the wealth chart, moving them through the wealth chart to the eventual evolution of some of them becoming generals. Now you have a question.
Yeah, how do you get them even to that first step, which is create your list of 200? How do you get them mindset wise from closing real estate and getting that first, that check for real estate to starting into revenue share?
How do we get them in the mindset? Well, ask them what their goals are. Kelly, what are your goals? So I want to sell 10 million. No, that's not your goal. Why do you want to sell 10 million? Okay, so I'm going to take you to a two-way conversation. Actually, I'm going to do it with you. Okay. You're going to be the agent. So Kelly, what are your goals?
My goals are to create enough passive income to not have to sell real estate at all.
Okay. I can't help you with that. How much passive income? 20 bucks?
20,000 a month.
20,000 a month. Okay. So you want to create 20,000 a month. I can help you with that because now I know I have a number. So, and okay. So tell me how tell me what your plan is to create 20,000 a month in revenue, in passive income. What is your plan?
Before EXP, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before EXP, it would be to grow the financial services business, assets under management, and rental real estate.
Everybody always says, I'm going to build passive income through rental real estate. Okay. So, how many properties do you need in order to generate 20,000 a month?
A boatload, a lot more than I have.
How many properties do you currently have?
14.
14. And how much passive income are you generating off those 14?
3,000 a month.
So you're generating 3,000 a month. You would need 7 times the amount. So 7 times 14, you would need 98, right? Everybody
Yeah.
agree? It's about 100 homes. Now, how much capital are you going to need to purchase another 84 properties? Because you need 84 more. How much capital?
Times 100,000 per.
So 8.4 million.
Yeah.
Post-tax.
Yeah.
So you don't need 8.4 million. You need to gross $12 million in cash to have 8.4 million after taxes if you have a good CPA in order to purchase those properties. How long will it take you to save 14 or 12 million in cash?
Can't see it happening.
Okay. So what you're telling me is your plan to generate 20,000 a month in revenue will not happen in this lifetime.
Right.
Do you guys understand that? Every single person's plan is flawed because they didn't do the math. And by the way, Kelly, you're not going to be able to borrow that much money. You're going to need more. It's not going to be 100,000 when you're on your 85th property because you're going to be way too overloaded in debt. Now, what happens if the market takes a dump?
Hmm.
You're going to still be purchasing properties at this rate? What happens if COVID hits and you have 84 or 100 people that don't pay you rent for 6 months?
Right.
If you save the 12 mil, if you buy the 84 properties, if the bank loans you the money. So that is one plan. I'll tell you my plan.
Okay.
The average amount per agent in your group that you'll make is how much?
$1,000.
I wish. It's about 500. That's the average amount per agent in your group, whether they're first level or 7th level. And this is assuming you've got 3 or 4 levels unlocked. Guess what? We all have 3 levels unlocked. Thank you, EXP. So in order to generate $20,000 a month in passive income at EXP, let's do the math. By the way, this is also on the wealth chart. I'm sorry about my screen going in now. You guys follow the math with me. So 20,000 a month times 12 months is 240,000 a year, right?
Right.
Divide that by $500 per agent per year, which means you need a total of 480 agents in your group, right? Well, I told you if you do this properly, it doubles every year. So you'd really only need about maybe 50 to 75 agents in your group, and then let that double every year in order to hit your 480. Okay, so let's call it a very aggressive. You need about 75 agents in your group. Well, are you going to recruit all 75 frontline? No. About 10% of the agents I found you're going to bring in yourself, and the other 90% are going to come in through those agents. So what's 10% of 75?
7 by 8.
So if you recruit 7 or 8 agents and then teach them all how to bring in one by finding out what their goals are, walking them through a wealth chart, doing 3-way calls, then that will eventually grow into 70 or 75. And then as long as you continually help them, that will double every year. So that in 5 years, you'll get yourself to about 480 agents. Now tell me what's easier. Saving $12 million in cash or going out and hiring 7 or 8 good agents. Now, I don't mean 7 or 8 new agents that have no interest in revenue share. Currently, I have, I'll give you the actual math on this. You got anybody have a new iPhone? Like the iPhone 15 Pro Max? Okay. After this call, go get the new iPhone. You have to do it, okay? They have a cool little button there where it goes to any app. So you have to pick the most favorite app you open. Do it to EXP, okay? Make it fun and simple. I have 38 agents in my front line. I have 915 in my group. That is for every agent that joins my front line, 27 more join the group. So the proof is right there. I can show that to anybody. They aren't just words or theories. If you're coaching and helping to train your agents. And so that's what I always tell people. I say, what is your goal? Everybody's goal, and by the way, everybody's goal is either 10,000, 20,000, or 50,000 a month in passive income. Everybody's answer is buying rental properties. And by the way, another question, how long did it take you to generate those 14 rental properties that are getting you 3,000 a month?
12 years.
12 years. So you've spent 12 years, $1 million plus of upfront capital to generate 3,000 a month.
Close.
And my plan, you could do it in less than 5. How much capital do you have to put in to generate your first 7 or 8 hires? Zero. Pick up the phone and help people. You know the easiest way? Anybody here have less than 10 frontline? Raise your hand. Okay. For the 3 of you that have less than 10 frontline, you guys want to know how to get 10 frontline agents by the end of the year, and you can just let the snowball take effect. Right now, today, go buy 10 tickets to EXPCon. Go get 10 hotel rooms. It'll cost you about, I don't know, 10 or 15 grand. And you also get a social ticket. So you only have to buy half the tickets. You get a social ticket. But go buy.
Give those away.
What's that? Okay. Go get yourself 10 tickets and 10 hotel rooms at EXPCon. And then you're going to send everybody in your hit list. Because remember, you got that hit list working. You're going to send all 200 people the exact same message. You're going to send them this message. You're going to say, hey, Scott, this is Mayur over here. I have an extra ticket to EXPCon, our national convention. It's coming up in October in Miami. The ticket's going to go to waste and the hotel room. I'd be more than happy to pick up your flights as well. This is a great place for you to pick up millions of dollars in referrals. Would you like to come as my guest? No strings attached. If you don't, the ticket's going in the trash. You send that to 200 people. I promise you'll get 10 people to say, free trip to Miami to go build my referral business. Yeah, I'll go. And then when those 10 people go to Miami, you'll have 9 of them call you and say, I need to join this company. That's what I did. My first year, I took 13 people to build in Texas. Nobody's calling me. I took 13 people to build in Texas. And I said, hey, I got an extra ticket. You want to come? And I wasn't lying. I bought all the tickets and I'm like, hey, now I have a burning hole in my pocket. I got to keep reaching out to people until I get rid of them. Took everyone to build. I told everyone, don't talk to me at build. Don't talk to me. I have nothing planned for you. I don't want to just come and go get a bunch of referrals. And then after you go sell 10 homes, send me a nice gift basket. All 10 people said, this is the best thing I've ever been to. I want to sign up. I said, great. Here's a link. You can sign up. Now, I spent the money to get them there. I've got 1,000% return on the money I spent that year. And I did it on a 0% interest credit card. And so I put it on a credit card that I used to pay off that credit card with the revenue share generated. So I just literally, I spent $0. I spent 0 energy and I changed 11 people's lives. Two of the people that went, I just went to their baby shower last night. My friends now live down the street. I get to see their baby and see them grow their revenue share for their unborn baby and having them come to me and say, thank you for bringing us to build. Thank you for bringing us to EXP. Now we're making 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 a month. And you know, our baby hasn't even been born yet. Like, this is cool. So another very long answer to a short question, but that's what I would do. What else, guys? We have a few more minutes, and I'm going to end probably just a couple minutes early and let you guys take over and digest this info. But what other questions do you have?
I wanted to ask, when you said about a letter of intent, when they sign the letter of intent, do you also kind of coach them, go, okay, it's 30 days from now. Do you have them do some kind of reach out or launch or something to see if some other agents can join and position themselves beforehand? Or what do you do with the folks who sign a letter of intent?
Yeah, great question. So exactly that. So the purpose of the letter of intent, first I explained to them, the reason you're going to sign the letter of intent is in case anybody else joins before you're ready, we're going to save them in your revenue share organization. So we don't want you to, we don't want you to lose anybody that's coming over. And for me, it makes sure that you don't pick somebody else. And I tell them that too. I'm going to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into you. And so you're not going to go around and find Brent Gove calling you the day before and saying join. And he wouldn't do that. He's a great guy, but things happen, right? You show a buyer properties, you go somebody else. And then I say, well, great. So then I say, look, there's already probably a lot of people in your current brokerage that are making the move. Who do you want to talk to about this? And the best way to talk to them is to say, hey, I want your feedback on EXP because I'm going to be making the move soon. And I want to hear your feedback because I respect you. And I tell them to have that conversation with everybody in their company that they would like to work with. And what naturally happens is they talk to those people, and 2 or 3 of those people are like, dude, I'm already coming over. They're like, great, let's do it together. The other thing I ask them for the LOI, and this is very important, and this is the best closing question you can ask, is I always ask people, what else do you need in order to make the move? And you know what's funny? You know what people say? They say things that I can resolve today. What else do you need? Well, I need to go get cards and signs and flyers. Hey, dude, I'll get somebody to get all that built for you and have it delivered to your house before your license is flipped. Oh, I got to sell one more listing. Let's take a look at the listing. Hey, let's cancel it and just have them re-sign it over here at EXP and start paying your cap at EXP. Why would you want to close that listing with Century 21 and pay your broker 20 grand? You bring that listing over here, you're capped. There's so many different reasons why people are waiting to move. And the biggest thing is people think, how many of you guys think moving brokerages is a big deal? It's not. We're not performing heart surgery, guys. Like, we're not brain surgeons here. We go to people's houses, we sign papers, and then, go make sure the pipes are working, and then everybody gets paid. Like, it's a very low barrier of entry. Not to degrade any of your guys' jobs, because some people are making a ton of money, but this isn't like, we're not moving satellites across the space. Like, it's a piece of paper. It's an online document to move your license, and it's cards and signs. Yeah, yes, you may have a ton of listings. Guess what? You could easily get them all transferred or just cancel them and put them up here. Deals in escrow, just let them stay in escrow. They'll pay you based on their ICA. Moving over is the easiest thing ever.
I think sometimes it's having to deal with the management office manager. Brokers don't make it very easy always to do that. And then again, you got the shuffle of the signs and having to deal with let's say you're listing in your client to mid voyage to change all the paperwork. And I think sometimes I know I kind of avoided that a little bit and waited till the end of the year. Kelly, you know that I waited till the very end.
So I always give them the information. So I say, first of all, number one, they're like, I got to talk to my broker. And then the broker's like, oh, okay, you're not going to EXP. It's all fake. Here's your new office, all your stuff. So I always tell people, I've been doing this since day one, is I say, you don't go talk to your broker. You send them this letter. And the letter is, thank you for everything. I appreciate it. I made the decision and I've already moved to EXP. And I appreciate you understanding this. The second thing is, if they do have pending listings and stuff like that, the conversation with the seller is, hey, I made a decision to move to EXP to get more resources to sell your house at a higher amount. Would you mind signing this piece of paper again and get you an extra 20 grand? I now have a network of 80,000 agents that work together. I now have better marketing resources. I now have the education and training of the top agents on how they list their properties and get more for their sellers. By the way, let me show you all this. Seller's not going to say no. Broker, what can you do? You already got the letter. It's done.
Hmm.
We've got time for one more. This is good, guys. Are you guys getting some good value out of this? Are you liking this?
Yeah. Good stuff.
Do you coach on rev share at all outside your team? Can you send Sean that information to share?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep. So John, so by the way, I'll tell you a little bit more about how that works. So I have a partner, his name's John Pugh. He is, if you don't know John Pugh, like you don't know what's going on. We both coach on revenue share because we've had a lot of agents outside of our groups that said, hey, we want a more formal coaching program. And so we do that. We do one-on-one calls, we do Zooms, we do events. We'll send you a flyer and some more information on that. We can talk about that offline. I'll tell you what's really cool. I'll tell you so here's the topics and things that we go over. And this is how you create a full, it's like going to Harvard for 4 years for RevShare. We focus on the wealth chart and the top 10 lead generation sources. Okay. If you don't have 3 agent attraction lead gen sources, you're probably not going to grow a big group. And these could be free, organic, and it's typically something that you're already doing. So if you get listings via YouTube, well, you should probably do agent attraction via YouTube. We go through the RevShare dashboard. Do you guys know that the RevShare dashboard is a business tool that you can go through and look at your month over month revenue share, your gross agent gain, your net agent gain. You can look at, where the gaps are. Hey, I have agents on 7 levels and I only have 6 FLQA and I've got 40 frontline. Okay, well, you need to get more FLQA, which means you need to go back into your frontline, figure out what the hell's going on, or put them all in teams. By the way, that's the easiest way to build your RevShare organization is put people on teams. Don't hire Joe, the individual agent, because Joe, the individual agent, will call you for help. Hire Joe and put him on a team that wants team members, and you get an automatic FLQA and you don't have to deal with them. We go through Curtis Johnson's method. Who knows Curtis Johnson? Curtis Johnson's like number 5 in the company, making like $500,000 a month. And he's done the least amount of work to build his group out of anybody in the whole company. That's something to study. You guys want to know how he did it?
Yes.
He was prepared. He went out and he was loud about EXP and he got himself on stages and kept talking about it. This is before anybody knew about EXP. And he put it all over his social media. And he was prepared. He knew everything. He went to the icon classes and he understood the formats and the splits and the fees and the team structure. And then one day out of the blue, an agent named Dan Beer decided to give him a call. Said, hey, I'm leaving Keller Williams. I got 50 agents. We do 500 million. Why should we choose you? Who here can take that call live right now and move Dan Beer over? Curtis was ready. And we actually coached getting that call. What happens, Chuck, when somebody out of the blue is going to call you and bring in 50 agents and 500 mil? You're going to be on mute. They're not going to hear you. You're on mute. Take yourself off mute.
Yeah, he did. That's kind of weird. Try it again.
Okay, we lost. Anyways, how would you take that call? Would you be ready to move Dan Beer over at the end of the call, or would you be like, because believe it or not, you're gonna get one of those phone calls if you're doing the right activities. We teach you about retention. Me and Sean are talking about retention. What happens when you build a big group and then all of a sudden people leave? Are you focusing on retention? Kyle Whistle. Who knows who Kyle Whistle is? We took Kyle Whistle's team from number 13 in the company. And I personally recruited 131 agents to his team personally. And now he's number 1 in the world. How did we build his entire team structure? Anybody here have a team themselves? Anybody here want to build a team? Anybody here want to be the number 1 team in the world? We built his entire structure. Who knows who Gogo Bethke is? Gogo and Amy. So we've dissected their entire agent attraction process from A to Z. They're so cool. If you don't follow here's a simple trick. Go right now on Instagram and follow Gogo and Amy and just copy what they do. They've made it really smart. They focus on an avatar. So who are you recruiting? Are you recruiting everybody? New agents, team leaders, brokers? Are you all over the board trying to recruit everybody and their mother? Or are you trying to recruit one type of person? Amy Gregory only recruits capping female agents that are solo because she's a capping female agent that's solo, and all of her social media is geared to lure them into her funnels. Everybody I see is trying to, hey, I want to recruit everybody. And then you're not a specialist in anything. I personally recruit team leaders because guess what? I was a team leader. You recruit what you look like in the mirror. I don't mean that like, I mean the type of person and type of agent you are. EXPCon. EXPCon's coming up. I told you guys all to buy tickets there. Well, you need to have a strategy. Yes, I told you buy 10 tickets, invite people and don't talk to them. But there is a strategy to that. And exactly what you do there and who you introduce them to and the dinners and the events and connecting them with your upline and also connecting with your own downline, retention events, social things for social media. We talk about Mike Sherrard. Who knows who Mike Sherrard is? How many FLQAs does Mike Sherrard have? Anybody know?
Is it 200?
It's like 1 million. Yeah, the guy has got he's got 3 times the number of FLQAs than the number 2 person in the company. That doesn't happen. He's like the Simone Biles of FLQAs. How did he do it? He built a very intricate YouTube system where he has his own agents put their videos on his YouTube to generate traffic. And then they see his EXP explained, which is the best in the business, debatably to Brent Goves. And then the way he does his 3-way calls and everything. And the guy works 1 hour a month, making $500,000 a month. And then we talk finally about my favorite person in the entire company, Big Papa, Brent Gove. You want to be number 1? Study number 1. Brent Gove's at 20,000 people. I'll tell you a cool story. When I started out, when me and John started out, we got invited to Sprint. Sprint is if you hire a bunch of agents, you get to go to an EXP corporate event. It's cool. We went there and we had always from day one, we're like, we got to meet Brent Gove. We got to meet Brent Gove. We got to meet Brent Gove. So Brent Gove's walking around the event with 12 people behind him. He looks like a comet. There's people, you can never talk to Brent Gove. And we're outside by the pool. We're in Denver, I think. I don't even know where we were. And Brent Gove is sitting in the jacuzzi with 10 people. And then all 10 leave. I think they're going to dinner. And Brent, you could see him. He's like, I'm going to stay 5 more minutes. Me and John looked at each other and we said, you know what you have to do. We took off our shirts, threw off our shoes, and we jumped in the jacuzzi. I swear to you. And we moseyed on over to Brent. And we said, hey, Brent, my name's John Mayur. We've been following you. Just wanted to get to know you and ask you a couple questions about revenue share. And you know what he said? He's like, cool. He's like, you guys want to see something really cool? And we're like, yeah, we're 3 dudes in a jacuzzi, so I'm not sure. And he's like, check this out. And he pulls out his phone and he opens up his rev share. And he's like, this is my very first month that I hit $1 million in rev share in a month. And we were like, what? And then he proceeded to tell us everything about rev share for another hour. And then we called him up and he came in and started flying into Orange County to do events for us. And then started doing private dinners with our agents. We're not in the same groups, guys. I'm not in your group. Like if you guys grow and make a time, it doesn't do anything for me. But Brent Gove did that for me years ago and taught me, this is a gift. And if you have some information that you can share with people about it, you should. And he did. And that's what motivates me. And that's what I tell people that story all the time, because who else do you know is making $1 million a month in passive income? Guys, that's my time. My kids are up. It was great talking to you all. If any of you guys want my information, add me to Facebook right now. So just look at my name, Mayur Thakarar. There's only one of me in the world. Add me to Facebook, and you can chat with me on there or ask questions or whatever. I'd love to help you guys out. It's been a pleasure being here today. Hope you guys all have a great day and hope you learned something. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Okay,
much.
brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was good. Everybody have an awesome week. Yeah, go connect with them on Facebook if you want some private coaching. I may check that out as well, Kelly.
Yeah, me too.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Let's talk. Yep.
All right, Kelly, I'm gonna call you too, Kelly.
Sounds good, Mike.
Make it a great week, gang. See everybody
All right.
tomorrow. Tomorrow's our AI. Everybody jump on for AI.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye.